So we're going to talk about nine things that make an absolutely amazing physical therapy school or physical therapy assistant school applicant. Yeah, it's one heart, one shot, now the future is yours. I'm turning dreams into reality. In the night with the... All right, guys, so let's break this down. If you're applying to physical therapy school or PTA school and you're like, what makes a great applicant? Okay, grades, okay, physics, okay, chemistry, but like, what are some things? What can I work on? Who can I become to be the best applicant I can be to get into physical therapy or PTA school so I can be a physical therapist? Because I'm just getting into school so I can become that. This school is just in the way. It's not everything, so don't lose sight of that as well. So let's run through these and maybe I might pick a few to talk about. All right, so number one, be respectful. Being respectful goes a long way. It's the simple things, but don't gloss over that at all. Number two, professionalism. Number three, being early. Next, being informed about the physical therapy profession. Next is not making excuses. I'll probably talk about that one. I'll probably choose that one to talk about. Next is being proactive. That makes a great applicant. Next, being easy to talk to. Don't be too stuck up or too nervous. I know you're applying, you're nervous. I get it, but we'll probably talk about that one as well. Being easy to talk to. Next, having specific goals for the future. And next, make sure you study your program of interest, the school that you're getting into. Make sure you study them. So let's talk about a couple of them on this video. So let's talk about not making excuses, okay? Why that makes a great physical therapy or PTA school applicant is because if you had your own physical therapy school, you would put obstacles and requirements in place. You just have to. Who do you want? What kind of person, what kind of applicant do you want in your school? And in order to make that decision, you want to see who cares the most about you to go through those requirements and to fulfill them and to go through those obstacles, whether it's easy for them to get or not. If somebody made excuses for the requirements you had in place, would you really feel like accepting them or like they stood out to you? Probably not. So with making excuses, yes, they understand life. Yes, they forgive past grades and all that stuff. But just keep in mind, how would you feel if you're on the other side of that phone or of that computer looking at applications? Put yourself in their shoes and say, how would I feel if somebody applied to my program with a bunch of excuses instead of trying to give me or putting in the effort to give me what I wanted? All right, so that's the first one I wanted to dive into. Next one, being easy to talk to. Yes, all right, you're nervous. I get it. It's a big decision. It's a big process. It's a huge application. But as a physical therapist, I can tell you right now, from being a physical therapist myself, all I do is talk to patients all day. For those of you who have been personal trainers or been in massage therapy or coaches of some sort, you know, like you're talking to the people and you just happen to be working out. You just happen to be doing a massage or something else. You understand that if you've been in that line of work before, especially barbers, hairdressers, all that stuff. You get it. So being easy to talk to goes a long, long way for two things. Number one, when you're in an interview or email conversation or video call campus visit, they'll just like you better because they're human and you're human. And number two, they're thinking of what kind of physical therapist, what kind of person will this person be out on clinical rotations and as a physical therapist representing our school in the future. If you're like some stuck up, arrogant, not easy to talk to person and you say, I went to XYZ school, they're gonna be like, oh, what kind of school was that? Instead of saying, oh snap, you went to that school. Obviously, they trained you to be a great human being and a great physical therapist. So they're thinking of those two things there. All right, so that's the next one. Next one, studying their program. So I'm talking about going deeper than whatever's on the website or whatever's easy to find on the school's PTCast profile. I'm talking about if I ask you any single question about that school, you should be able to answer it in 30 seconds or less. Or you should be able to give me a full dissertation or paper about everything the school did in the last 2, 5 years, 10, 15 years, who every faculty is, where they went to school, what the department chair did, if they built a new building or not, what they did on their Instagram page 2 years ago. I'm talking about every single detail you can. Because what the problem is that a lot of schools are having is not the applicants. You know, people are applying. They're saying if people are applying and we have applicants who are kind of the same, right? What's going to make John different with the 3.3 versus, you know, Sarah with a 3.3? What's the difference? How do we decide, how do we choose who's better for us? And what they're looking for is who knows us the best? Who says they're a great fit for us? Who knows what we've been through? Who cares about us enough to learn about us? And with that, they're going to say, okay, you know, Sarah or John, whoever knows the most about us, they're obviously the better fit to give value to our program and to represent us more holistically or whatever in the future. So just dig, like, you guys know how to use the internet. You guys know how to use the internet to stalk people. This is nothing new for you. Go stalk your schools, all right? Then the last one I want to talk about here is specific goals for the future, because like I said before, physical therapy school or PTA school is just a stop. It's just a roadblock. When you saw this profession, you didn't say, I want to be a physical therapy student. No, you're saying, I want to be a physical therapist or a PTA. School is just in the way to get there. It's just your ticket to play the game. All right, so what are your specific goals for the future? Write them down, think about it, ask other people about it, write it in the comments if you like as well. We can talk about it there. Just get to thinking, what are your specific goals? So when you go and talk to these schools or interview or whatever, when you talk about your future with the programs, you're not saying, oh, I just want to be whatever. Like, it comes across. They're very smart. They've seen you before. So if you're not very certain, if you're not very solid in what you want to do in the future, you're just going to seem like everybody else. Oh, I just want to work in an outpatient clinic. That's fine. Like, do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you just talk about it like, I just want to work in an outpatient clinic, I just want to own my own business, oh, I think I want to do travel PT. Like I said, nothing wrong with that. It's just how you talk about it. It's how it's perceived. If you're saying, I want to do travel PT in only hospitals around the whole West Coast to treat spinal cord injuries and traumatic brain injuries because my family went through this, or I went through that, or I've seen people with that, or I observed this and it spoke to me, like, you see the difference. It's and you don't even have to say that much or too much. You don't have to ramble. But the difference of knowing just a few more details about the future of what you want versus saying, oh, I think travel PT is good. Oh, I think PEDS is okay. There's a vast difference between the two because they see this student so much. They see the student so much who says, I don't know, PEDS looks cool. Or the main one we hear all the time, oh, sports. I want to work for the NBA, the NFL. Hey, do you know how I can be an Olympic trainer? Or, like, it's different from just saying something than actually having a plan or thinking of a plan of what you want to do for the future. So those are just 9 things that really stand out and really can make you an amazing applicant and a great PT or PTA school applicant going forward. So hope you enjoyed that video. Hope you got value. Comment, like, subscribe below, and let us know in the comments what are your goals for the future and what other things would stand out to you if you had your own PT school. So if you are new to Pre-PT Grind and you are watching this for the first time, a little bit about us. I'm Casey Coleman. I'm a physical therapist and the co-founder of Pre-PT Grind, and we help thousands of students get into physical therapy school or PTA school without wasting time, money, stress, anxiety, and everything in between. So if you like this video, definitely get more into our world, watch more of our videos, hit the descriptions below, and welcome to Pre-PT Grind.